talk a little bit about Polycab. They're a leading manufacturer of cables as well as wires, and they came out with their numbers. Profits came in at about 247 crore rupees, with the revenue growth higher by nearly 23%. Margins contracted to 10.7%, and when it came to their overall segmental revenue, they did see a growth coming in across the board. Joining in right now is Inder Jaisinghani as well as Mr. Tongia, who is the MD as well as the CFO of Polycab India. Good to have you both on board. Mr. Jaisinghani, I'm going to begin with you first. Let's talk about the revenues that came in from the cables and wire segment. That has seen a growth on a sequential basis as well as on a year-on-year basis, whereas when it comes to the other segments like copper, etc., they've shown a mild downtick on a sequential basis. What have been the reason for this, and what is the outlook when it comes to the demand?
That is because of the pandemic, and now slowly pandemic will be go. Same kind of demand again will be increased.
Mr. Tongia, I just flagged off that 200 basis points contraction in your margins. Take us through how long you think margins will remain depressed, and what are the steps that you've taken to combat your margin pressures?
So this was the best quarter in the history of the company. We achieved almost 3,300 crore rupees of top line. Sequentially, we have been able to improve our margins by almost 100 basis points. Predominantly coming from contribution margin, which has expanded almost by 70 basis points. Historically, we have hovered between 11% to 13% in our cable and wire EBITDA margin. It seems that we should be able to maintain that in the next year.
Right, Gandharv, how has demand been in both the tier 2 as well as tier 3 cities, and if you could just give some color on how metros as well have shaped up for you, and whether or not there's been any impact of the third wave?
So in the month of December, there was some softness in the demand, but as we speak now, the demand has come back, and it seems that the second half of the current quarter is going to be better than what we witnessed in the second fortnight of December. Overall demand environment in B2B is improving. We have registered a good growth of almost 150 basis points in institutional business. Exports also maintained its upward trajectory and contributed almost 8% to our top line. FMEG business, which contributes almost 10 to 12% to our top line, has also registered a growth of 57% on a 2-year basis. We have gained market share across categories, and growth was broad-based across all regions.
So are there any supply chain issues which may be impacting stocking by dealers right now, and if there is at all a lag on that front?
So in the month of December, immediately after Omicron, dealers decided to optimize their inventory level. But as we speak now, dealers are moving back to the normal inventory levels, and channel inventory is at the pre-pandemic levels now.
Okay, so that's the action that you're seeing in the smaller towns, where of course real estate activity is also picking up. Mr. Jaisinghani, I'm going to come to you now. Around 11.5% of your revenues do come in from FMEG. You've spoken about several macro drivers, whether it is increased awareness, rising income level, rural electrification, the revival of the property market. But for this segment, what kind of guidance can you give us?
It is going to grow at least 20-25% every year. And I think so now, after this coming year, it is going to grow very fast.
I'd like to focus with you, Mr. Jaisinghani, a little more about what we're seeing, and indirectly one of the ways to play the property market's revival is then indirectly through companies like yours. So tell us on ground, when we're hearing about the property markets come back, you tell us what's happening. Increased construction activity, more project launches. Is it more in the urban centers? Are you also seeing it in the smaller towns? Something which we're just talking to Mr. Tongia about.
2-tier and 3-tier cities is growing very fast because everybody is looking for a buy home. And I think so this will be continued because now that construction line is the housing sector is really in growth.
can't let you go until we ask you about the union budget, including today. Only 6 trading sessions now left till 1st of February. Mr. Jaisinghani, your budget expectations from Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman.
Yeah, definitely. I think so. It will be in a good position, and our sales will be growing this coming years because of the building construction division, because it is growing very, very fast.
Okay, Mr. Singhani as well, Mr. Tongia, thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us live today on the market. With that